that Sean says. He's like, I'm sorry, do you work outside? Like,
right.
are you not in the AC?
Coming from someone who works outside.
Yeah, are you not in AC 75, 80% of the time? I'm like, that's not the point. All right, 5:42 is the time. Hopefully you can give the ACs a break right now, and maybe you're opting for the seat warmers because it's kind of cool out. Right now, we have a crash on the 15 South right at Old Highway 395. This may set you back a little bit if you're traveling in from Bonsall, Fallbrook, even Temecula, headed southbound towards Hidden Meadows this morning. Let's go ahead and give you a wider look at what's going on across your freeways as we go ahead and zoom on in to the 805 right where it intersects with the 163. Here's that drive coming at your screen that's headed towards Kearney Mesa. Average speeds about 65, 70 miles per hour or so. Same deal if you're coming in on the 52 west, headed towards the 125 this morning, about 65 mile per hour speeds there. 70 on the 15. This is the northbound drive on the right side, southbound drive on the top left. And it looks like we're so far so good, in pretty good shape at this hour. Back to you guys.
I was going to say Tuesday, Thursday, hot Thursday, but now is the time to get out there and get the, comfortable stretch in.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, again, right now you're giving the ACs a break, maybe letting in some of that cooler air because it is quite comfortable, and you likely don't need the AC as you get in your car this morning. All right, we are tracking a crash, a troubled area on the 15 South right at Old Highway 395. This could set you back a little bit if you're making your way in from Bonsall, maybe Temecula, 395. Let's go ahead and switch gears and see what's happening across our freeways as we take a live look at some of the cameras here. This is the drive as you make your way towards Kearney Mesa in from Mission Valley on the 805 at the 163. Meanwhile, this is that drive as you make your way per hour. So coming up in about 6 minutes or so, we'll take a look at what those Thursday travel times have in store for you. Back to you guys. 6:10 is the time. Let's go ahead and on into the 805 right at Home Avenue. This is that stretch as you make your way in from Chula Vista, headed northbound towards North Park, 61 mile per hour speed. So overall, we're still at steady speeds in pretty good shape. Meanwhile, this is the 8 coming in from La Mesa, the Grossmont Center area. As you make your way towards College. We can actually see that things are starting to pick up, but nothing significant in terms of slowing quite yet. And this is the 15. This is that drive south as you make your way out of Escondido, headed southbound towards Rancho Penasquitos in Rancho Bernardo. About a 10-minute ride if you're headed southbound in from Oceanside and Escondido this morning. Average speeds about 68, 75 miles per hour. So here's what it looks like if you're traveling in from the East County, headed west, about 3 to 7 minutes. In really good shape on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. And here are those drives coming in from the South Bay North, 10 to 15 on the 805, and the 5 that's coming in from San Isidro. That's that drive in from the mile of cars headed towards the Point Loma and OB area. And then it's again, we usually see road work wrap up near the old toll booths as you pass as you head towards Coronado in from downtown, about 13 minutes out last check, and speeds down to about 10 miles per hour or so. All right, it is 6:11. Let's go ahead and switch gears and see what those travel times look like. About an hour 30 to get you across from San Ysidro's port of entry, and about 45, a little bit better to get you in from Otay Mesa's port of entry at last check. Back to you guys. Morning. Oh, that looks like a toasty forecast. And I saw that the Pacific Northwest was actually getting hit with a bunch of atmospheric rivers. Right. So they're feeling the opposite. All right, let's go ahead and take a live look outside for you. This is a 94 in both directions. Top of your screen, or I should say top right, is that drive as you make your way into downtown San Diego, traveling through the South Park Golden Hill neighborhood. And this is what it looks like coming in from the East County, headed westbound toward the College area via the 8. This is from Lake Murray. We are starting to see a little bit of slowing as you make your way westbound out of that area. And take a look at this. This is the pocket.
Right.
So last year, or like towards the end of last year, or even the start of this year, I'm like, come on.
What happened?
Come on, San Diego. All right, 6:31. Again, incredible weather. I know a lot of people are excited for it. So down near National City, just north of the 15 connector, as you make your way towards the Coronado Bridge near the Navy base, Navy shipyard, I should say, out in National City. So you can see there's a lot of congestion as folks exit that off ramp there. The 15 South at Old Highway 395. This is still active on the CAD. A crash may slow things down and is likely coming in from the 7 76 as you make your way towards Hidden Meadows, eventually towards that 78 connector. Right now we are starting to see some brake tapping on the 5 and the 805, slow speeds down to about 20, about 30 miles per hour or so as you make your way north in from Chula Vista, National City. Coming up a little later, we'll take a look at what your travel times have in store. Back to you guys. As usual for this time of day, if you're traveling to Coronado in from downtown Barrio Logan, you're at a crawl, speeds of about 5 miles per hour. They're typically wrapping up overnight road work around this time. I didn't find any crashes nor hazards on the CAD, so it's likely that crews are wrapping up construction as they're getting the morning going there. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears, take it over to the East County. Steady speeds coming in from La Mesa, a little bit of a different story. If you're traveling in from Santee on the 52, about 25 mile per hour speeds there. If you're traveling southbound in from Oceanside and Escondido, I'm tracking anywhere between 60 to nearly 70 mile per hour speeds coming in from those directions. Back to you guys. To you a photo of Charlie,
Wow, okay.
so I expect that to be up for the next dog walk forecast. South right before you hit Old Highway 395. It's right near Temecula, Murrieta, so as you cross into San Diego from Riverside, you could run into some minor slowing due to that incident there. All right, let's go ahead and take you to the North County and take a look at those speeds. 35 mile per hour speeds coming in from Escondido. It's very small though as far as the pocket of slowing goes, coming in from Escondido, making your way towards Villa Rancho. 67 mile per hour speeds meanwhile coming in from Oceanside, so we're at steady speeds there. We're now seeing some good brake tapping coming in from Santee as you make your way up towards Mast on the 52. And on the 8 West, it's stop and go from the 125 all the way towards Lake Murray, and then those speeds start to increase once you enter the College area and Allied Gardens. 20 mile per hour speeds coming in from Chula Vista, stop and go at about Sweetwater Road, all the way up to the 15 connector near North Park. And it looks like we're tapping the brakes all the way to the Coronado Bridge. And then once you pass the Coronado Bridge, headed up towards the 94 and the 5, that's where speeds start to improve. All right, back to you guys. Thursday, Friday Eve, almost to the end of the week. All right, look out for a crash. This is in the North County. This may set you back a little bit in the Fallbrook neighborhood. It's on the 15 South on the right shoulder, right before you hit Old Highway 395 as you make your way towards the 76 connector. All right, let's go ahead and move a little more south. We have another crash that we're tracking, this one in Escondido on the right shoulder as well. And this is on the 78 eastbound right before you hit the 15. So likely as you exit, make your way around Escondido. Hopping onto the 15, this could set you back a little bit. In fact, it's slowing traffic all the way down to about Nordal. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears and give you a live look outside. This is the 15 in both directions right at Claremont Mesa. What you're looking at is this is the southbound drive coming in from Miramar, Mira Mesa, and that's that northbound drive as you make your way towards Miramar and Mira Mesa on the 15 from Tierra Santa. Meanwhile, we are seeing a crawl. You could probably guess where everyone's going. They're going westbound this morning. This is coming in from Lake Murray Boulevard as you travel in from the Grossmont and La Mesa Center. All right, coming up a little later, we'll take a look at what your Thursday travel times have in store. Go on once it hits 75 or warmer. 7:12 is the time. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside. This is the 805. We're at a crawl coming in from the South Bay as you make your way towards the 15 split. In fact, you could see for yourself just a parade of headlights that we're dealing with. We are also looking at, this crash team coming in up on the 78 East right before. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to have relief anytime soon. It's pretty slow and go, and it will likely be so for at least the next 10-15 minutes. 10 to 15 to get you southbound coming in from Oceanside and Escondido this morning. If you're traveling in from the East County, headed west, about 5 to 10 minutes on the 94 and the 8, and under a 15-minute ride on the 52 coming in from Santee as you make your way up the summit towards Tierra Santa. Netta. Thank you. As you make your way northbound towards National City. In fact, far right of your screen, you can see that it is a parking lot to head towards the 54 connector in from the South Bay towards the mile of cars. The reason for that, contributing to that slowing, is a crash on the 5 North right before you hit the 54 split. So that's likely going to bottleneck things for you this morning. Traffic at a gridlock at last check, and travel times are continuing to crawl about 25 minutes in from the 54 up to the 8. CBS8.com/traffic is where you can find more updates. We'll be back after this. And talk about our traffic. We have a couple of issues happening across the county that are likely going to slow things down for you as you head out the door. We'll take you first in the South Bay and then we'll move and it looks like it has cleared, so that's some good news. There's still congestion though as you make your way onto that on-ramp for the 15 north and south. Meanwhile, the left side of your screen here is that drive as you make your way westbound. Towards Nordahl coming in from Escondido. Travel is at a crawl across all of our major freeways. 25 to 45 to get you northbound in from San Ysidro and National City this morning. If you're headed west coming in from the East County or even south in from the North County, 20 minutes right now in from Oceanside to Encinitas. It's about a 15-minute ride in from Escondido down to the 163 merge and full span of the 78. Because we had that crash that has cleared, the slowing could take a while to clear, about 20 minutes full span from the 15 to the 5. And here's a quick look at all of those drives coming in from the East County headed west, about 20 or so in from the 125 to downtown, in from College to Mission Valley, 8 minutes. And then if you're traveling in from Santee, not too bad. Slow down to about 30-mile-per-hour speeds, but it could be worse. 15 minutes to get you from the 125 towards the 15 this morning. Back to you guys. Similarly on the 5 north as you make your way towards National City in from Chula Vista. We have 2 back-to-back crashes on the 5. Maybe you opt for the 805 north as an alternate route this morning. We have it out at E Street. All right, we have another crash. This one just popped in on the CAD. It's in the Kensington area and it's in the center divide on the 15 north right after the 8 freeway. It is backing things up all the way down to University. So plan ahead if you're headed from Normal Heights, Kensington towards Mission Valley and the College area. CBS8.com is where you can find more weather and traffic updates. We'll be back after that. Mild and the drives, even though they're pretty slow and go, you'll get through it. It might be a different story though. You likely need the AC on the way home later on today. We have back-to-back crashes on the 5 in Chula Vista. So we have one at H Street involving 2 cars, and then we have another one just north of that on the right shoulder, National City on the 5, right as you pass the 54 connector. Look out for another crash, this one in the Kensington area on the 15 north right after the 8 freeway, backing things up all the way down to University Avenue. And then we have this one, look out for it if you're traveling in from Escondido on the 15 south right at Via Rancho. All right, let's go ahead and pull up those travel times for you this morning. 45 minutes is the overall time it'll take you to get from San Ysidro up to the 94 near the City Heights area, and about 30 or so in from National City up to Point Loma, Sunset Cliffs on the 8. Downtown to Coronado will take you about 7 minutes. Pretty slow and go across the Coronado Bridge. Speeds down to about 18 miles per hour or so. Here's what it looks like if you're coming in from the East County headed west. About under 10 in from the College area, and then 15 to 25 on the 94 as well as the 52. So in from Santee to Tierra Santa will take you about 15 minutes total. Meanwhile, not too bad coming in from the North County, close to 20 minutes for both of those drives headed in from Oceanside as well as Escondido. Full span of the 78. We had an earlier crash. It has since cleared near Nordahl, but unfortunately the slowing likely going to take a while to clear. 25 full span from the 15 to the 5. Average speeds on the 78 about 40-45 miles per hour or so. Other one just as you hit the 54 connector. So those two are going to certainly slow things down for you as you head out the door this morning. We have another crash, this one in the center divide in the Kensington neighborhood. This is on the 15 north right after the 8, and it's slowing things down to about University. So I would say opt for the 805 to get around that, but even the 805 is seeing their fair share of slowing when it comes to the northbound drive this morning. And then we have a crash. Look out for this one right at Via Rancho. Once you get past this crash, you can expect those speeds to improve, but unfortunately it's at a gridlock from Escondido all the way down to that incident. All right, let's go ahead and pull up your travel times. We are still in the red, plenty of red to go around across our major freeways. 30 to 40 minutes to get you northbound in from Chula Vista National City this morning. Under 10 full span of the Coronado Bridge. And here's what it looks like for those westbound drives in from the East County. In from Santee this morning on the 52. About 16 minutes as you make your way up the summit towards Tierra Santa. You probably don't need the ACs for the morning commute, likely a different story for the evening one. All right, look out for a crash. This in the North County on the right shoulder in Escondido on the 15 right at Via Rancho. Stop and go all the way to El Norte Parkway. We have another crash that's slowing things down coming in from Chula Vista on the 5 north, and here's what it's doing to your drive. In fact, we're at a crawl as you make your way from Chula Vista, passing the 54 on the 5 towards the mile of cars. And then as I mentioned, we have a crash on the 15 at Via Rancho, and you can see it slow and go coming southbound in from Falicita, Citricado. All right, CBS.com is where you can find more traffic and weather updates. We'll be back after this. 5 blocking the carpool lane, 5 north right at Encinitas Boulevard. Most folks are traveling south, but this could cause brake tapping, some congestion for even those headed south this morning, despite it being northbound on the northbound end. We also have another crash. This is on the 15 south right where it intersects with the 78 connector. And this is going to slow things down as you make your way in from Hidden Meadows, headed towards Escondido this morning. All right, here's a live look outside. This is a 78 in both directions right at Nordal. Right side of your screen is a drive as you make your way toward the 15 connector. And then once you're on the 15, here's what it looks like at Felicita as you make your way southbound. Taking a look at travel times, we're still at a crawl coming in from San Isidro and the 54 on the 5 and the 805, 25 to 35 minutes or so. Back to you guys.
All right, still ahead.
Almost to the end of the week, and summer-like heat, unfortunately, is not going away anytime soon. In fact, we'll have a little bit of a break this weekend, but we'll see those temperatures ramp back up again by the time we get to next week. All right, here's a teaser of what you can expect for tomorrow afternoon. We'll see another day of plenty of 90s to go around for the inland valleys, close to 80s for most of the coastal and beach neighborhoods, and we could likely break plenty of records across the region again tomorrow afternoon. So why is this all happening? We have a ridge of high pressure. It is pretty much dominating Southern California, will continue to do so all the way through Friday. But notice what happens when I fast forward to this weekend. That ridge kind of backs off a bit, moves offshore, and that allows for some subtle, I'm going to emphasize subtle cooling into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday are looking about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. Then that ridge of high pressure moves back onshore next week, and that's going to bring another pretty excessive warm up. As we take a look at our wind gust forecast, we will this morning. It will take us all the way through tomorrow night. The coast will be in the mid to high 80s, the valleys mid to high 90s, but those neighborhoods, including El Cajon, Santee, Valley Center, will likely hover closer to that century degree mark. Make sure that you're staying hydrated when it comes to the kids. Make sure that they're, again, drinking a lot of water, lathering up the sunscreen, and wearing the sun protected gear, light, loose colored clothing, maybe some sun hats. As we take a look at Friday, tomorrow's another weather impact day highlighted in red there. We're looking at very hot conditions. We have a little bit of relief this weekend, and then temperatures rise back up next week. For the mountain ridging kind of weekends, especially for those areas west of the mountains, and then you could see where that ridging kind of returns towards next week and amplifies by the time we get to next Wednesday and Thursday.